Hi there, and welcome to episode 201 of the Blue and Black podcast and the second ever live stream show. Woo, hype! It's been a couple of weeks since we caught up, so here's what you missed in your 2-minute roundup. Robert Mueller concludes his investigation and determines that there was no collusion between Trump and Russia during his election campaign. So big shout out to Donald Trump. I think we give him a bit of stick sometimes. Big shout out to Donald Trump for finally showing some integrity.
Yeah, good job not colluding with Russia, Donald.
A little bit of integrity just in one aspect of his life. Well done, Donald Trump.
I think I speak for all of us as well when I say that we never had any doubt.
No. In other fantasy news, this weekend we'll see the first major MTG tournament played on Arena. Because yes, that's right, it's the Mythic Invitational. Woo, hype, hype, hype. Everyone will know. It will have the biggest payout to the winner of any Magic tournament ever held, with $250,000 going to first place.
That's actually a reasonable amount of money to win.
Yeah, I did the numbers actually. It's just enough money. You'll have a bit of change left over to buy you entry into every GP in a year. So you go to as many Magic Fests as you want in a single year without $250,000. Travel and hotel fare not included.
I hope you have actually done that math. I hope you're not just guessing.
I have, at the current rate of inflation.
Amazing.
No, I haven't really. Who do we think is going to win? I've got my money. I'm not gambling, of course, because I would never do that on a Magic tournament. But I want Andrea Mangucci to win. Who do we think is going to win?
I think a random streamer's going to win.
I think it's going to be something.
I do hope it's a random streamer. Meanwhile, War of the Spark previews continue to bubble away quietly in the background, with very little info coming out since we last checked in. Actually, weird. I was looking for stuff and actually nothing's come out. We know the whole Planeswalker thing already. We learned today that the easily forgettable Eternalize mechanic was intended as a throw forward rather than a throw back to War of the Spark, but no one actually liked it, so they just scrapped the idea and didn't include it anyway. So yeah, I feel a bit like the royal baby announcer when I say that the news today is there's no news.
What? Where was this Eternalize thing?
It was in Mario's article today on the Mothership. He basically said, yeah, we're going to put it in War of the Spark, but no one really liked it, so scrap that. So yeah, that's us all caught up.
I think Eternalize is like one of the... Sorry, this is... No, we're in the news roundup. Shall I talk about it later?
Yeah, do it later. And I'm gonna see if... I said I was going to try this, but let's see if I can do this with timing. So that's it for today, Land... Oh, no, I did it wrong. Intro music's now playing. And joining you today, I was trying to time it so that I could talk into the intro music like an actual radio host does, but I'm not sure if the people watching us on Twitch right now even heard the intro music. But anyway, I'll edit it in properly.
I mean, some of the long-term podcasters don't even know the intro music. So
anyway.
Jeffrey Brucey is going to win it.
Oh,
is that the person
bet.
that you recognise the name of the least?
Yeah, that's S. Jow.
Massive shade thrown. Anyway, joining you today, he may not be a Mythic Challenger or one of MPL's best, but to us, he's still everyone's favourite guest, Mr. Matthew Light. No, that way.
It was nothing but hurtful.
His favourite things are football, beer, and big old brains. He fancies his... I'm sorry, I said that wrong. He balances his student-like lifestyle with copious amounts of rest, Mr. Neil Rigby.
Hi.
He makes his career out of telling off and setting tests, but the only dissensions he hands out cost 1 blue white to cast. Dr. Rob Wagner.
Oh, hello. I forgot you could see my full face now, so you've just got a big picture of me drinking a pint.
Neil, I don't think that's as surprising or alarming to anyone that knows us or listens to us as you might think it is. You seem to be acting like that. People are going to be shocked. I think, if anything, they'll think it's weird that you're not drunk at 8:15 on a Monday.
And at school, poetry was something he used to detest, and he still hasn't really got much better at it. That's me, Matteo Orsini-Jones. And before we move on, let us not forget to mention our sponsors who currently don't exist. So, somewhat of an announcement. We're currently sponsorless. Essentially, Magic Madhouse no longer support us. Nothing against Magic Madhouse.
They kicked us to the curb.
No, but
we still love them.
Basically, I think it's fair enough. They're pulling back their marketing budget, and they thought we're not probably getting that much out of this podcast because our listeners kind of already know us, and they don't really do content so much. They basically just do cards. So it's odd for them to be supporting a podcast in the first place. So we just want to say we have absolutely nothing against Magic Madhouse. We still think they're a great player.
I just realised what Rob's doing.
I don't know what Rob's doing. I don't know if I want to know. We have basically, there's no bad blood. Just to be clear, we just parted ways, and we're on the lookout for I'm really distracted by the fact that everyone's screaming, but we're on the lookout for new sponsors if anyone has any ideas. We're free agents at the moment. I think it might be a good opportunity for us actually to kind of see what new routes we can explore. There's a hand poking Rob.
Yeah, like running out of money to keep the lights on.
Exactly. One of these opportunities might be to promote our Patreon more. If you guys definitely want to keep us going, because like Matt just said, we're no longer having our bills paid. Patreon.com/TB podcast would be a place to go. But otherwise, if you either own a store or you or you know someone, you have a friend who runs one, or you think you'd like to see us on, I don't know, whatever, Star City, start tweeting them.
Any type of store, by the way. It doesn't have to be a magic store.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
We'll advertise painters and decorators.
As long as we can make jokes out of it, we'll support anything.
So we're not
basically, if you've got any money, we'd love to hear from you.
Exactly. But anyway, yeah, how have you guys been? How's the magicking?
I played some.
Yeah, I've been playing more and more Arena.
Nice.
I was just like, I find it really funny that I'm the one there that was like, yeah, we have like literally no morals. We'll support anybody. And at the start, I was like, I don't want a sponsor. I'll happily.
Yeah, that was always a really weird position, and because having a sponsor was great,
Yeah, but it was just a case of I didn't want us to essentially become sellouts.
Right.
But I don't think we did.
But
No,
no,
we didn't.
you've had a taste of a rich life.
Which was fine.
Yeah. No, it was yeah. Essentially, we do have bills. We do have to pay for SoundCloud Premium, and there's website hosting fees. Obviously, it takes time as well. It's nice to be rewarded something for your time. But currently, we're at this, without the sponsors, the Patreons aren't enough to be covering website hosting stuff and microphones and stuff like that. That's another thing actually. I don't know if you guys ever hear it, but my microphone seems to spike a lot, so I need a new one. I tried fixing it.
Wait, because we've done this before, Matteo. So just so we're totally clear,
definitely on.
It's definitely on, right?
Yeah, I've turned it off and on again. I've unplugged it, replugged it, and even in the back of the computer, done all that. But if you, obviously, Matt, you don't listen back, but if you listen to the last episode or two, you'll hear that my audio randomly spikes and varies between audio tracks. Actually, no, it doesn't vary because
I've heard it spike a bit this episode already in Skype. So.
Yeah, people are saying in chat. So my microphone's broken. Hopefully by next week I'll have fixed. I tried fixing it this week, and I think I just need to buy a new one. Unless
maybe what we should do as a podcast is we should over time steadily have more and more things stop working on the podcast to show that people really do need to support us on Patreon or sponsor us.
We need one of those bars. Streamers always have a bar of 50% to my next goal, and it's always going to SCG Indie or whatever. We should have buying Matteo a microphone. It's every day it gets slightly wider. No matter how much people are giving, it's always slightly further away.
Yeah, we're 50 away from getting Matteo a new microphone and 75 away from getting Rob some shoes. Yeah. Really lay it on thick. I'm not saying that Rob doesn't have shoes.
My last one going down there the right way.
Get involved in a private recording room where you can record without distractions. $2,000.
Yeah.
Getting Neil nice art for the back of his recording.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, buying more hoodies, because I don't know if anyone's noticed, but behind me they've come in. So this weekend I spent a long time in the post office. There was a massive queue, so I hope people are grateful when they receive them. But if you gave me your hoodie by the end, your address, by the end of Saturday, and you ordered a hoodie, you should have received it by now if you're listening when the episode's published, not if you're listening live, because they would have only sent out today. To be honest, it would be a miracle if I sent everyone the right hoodies, because I'm not very organised like that. But hopefully everyone got the right thing. If you didn't, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Maybe give it back to me at London and I'll swap it out. But I'm pretty sure I've now sent everyone the right hoodies, and there's just a few left who've now given me their addresses. I'll send those out tomorrow, but that's a t-shirt behind me, which I'll give to Neil, because
we have cool swag. I think we can all agree that sometimes we might not have great Magic content, but our hoodies and so the fridge magnets are dope. You've got to send me one of those.
Sure.
I mean, you don't got to, but I want one.
Don't got it.
You should definitely bring those to London.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
fridge magnets are kind of
that many, so they're Patreon gifts, stickers.
Get more.
Tons. Yeah, I could get more fridge magnets, to be honest. But they are quite cool, and I like how they're
I like
floppy,
how
so
I'm
you
like-
can like slap
we-
them on
we've-
things.
Literally just spoke about not having a sponsor anymore, and I'm like, buy more tat to give away.
Buy more stuff. Let's do giveaways. Giveaways every week. Everyone loves giveaways. It's like, no, Neil, we can't afford giveaways.
Can we turn this into a pyramid scheme? Like, who wants to buy 1,000 fridge magnets? You can sell them on, I promise.
They
Sorry,
might retain
multi-level
their
marketing
value.
is what you're supposed to call it now.
MLMs.
Yeah. Speaking of things that used to have different names back in the day, Rob.
Rob's always called Rob, isn't he?
I used to call Robert a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Rob.
Rob, do you want to tell us about this week, back in day in Magic's history?
Sure thing. Back in day, 6 years ago, was something which was discontinued a couple of years ago. The last one of these things was in... 1 year ago, in fact. The last one of these was last year. This is the Magic Online Championship. So this is the 2013 Magic Online Championship. It was won by Lars Dam, who beat a guy called Corey Lack in the final that I've not heard of. Lars Dam's he pops up at other events here there. He beat Dmitry Butikov in the semi-final. Butikov's definitely a noted Magic Online player, keeps coming up.
Didn't he win the one?
Big time Modo, yeah.
Didn't he win the one the year after or something? He won. He definitely won something.
Yeah, he's won. He's won 2, I think, hasn't he? He won the most recent one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, even before he was winning tournaments, he was like quite a big deal. Like when you played him on Modo, like you recognized his name. He was always like top of the leaderboards, like winning PTQs and that sort of thing. Like a real like MTGO legacy, much in the way that like Reed Duke was at one point, right? Brad Nelson.
Brad
Yeah.
Nelson.
Yeah.
For freak.
And like Johnny Hot Sauce, he was like a well-known Modo person as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was only a 16-player event. There weren't a load of big names in this. The other big names, at least now, are Seth Manfield was 5th, Ansi Alkio in 6th. He's had a lot of success with other card games as well. I think notably Warcraft.
Yep.
Yeah, it's how Neil and I know him.
Yep, and Andrzej Strasky was there.
Cool.
Otherwise, not necessarily big names. Bing Luke rings a bell, but I can't remember why.
Lars Dam's actually a really small name. It's 7 letters
Sorry if you're
total.
listening.
Bing Luke as well, not a big name.
Corey Lack.
I think
Corey Lack also.
It's actually full of quite small names.
Yeah.
There's no PVDDR anywhere.
I think that I think that the thing that what this really shows is that the Modo, like the Magic Online Championship, like basically the problem with it is people just don't give a like they just don't care.
I think what it actually shows is it helps to have a small name on Modo because you don't have to type out your username every time you log in. You get more time to actually play Magic.
It does have a save your username feature, you know, like on the login screen.
Isn't David Kaufman like a famous comedian?
Hasn't he been a guest on this podcast?
David Kaufman.
Martin Kaufman.
Is Andy Kaufman is the comedian?
Andy Kaufman. Okay.
Thanks for explaining though, because that does make jokes funnier, as we all know.
Yep, so
Indeed.
everyone gets it. And the people that got it the first time get it
Why
the
is it?
second time.
They definitely get it the second time.
Yes.
Talking completely
yes,
non-Magic
clearly the
related
Online
back in the day.
Championship has been-
I've just started watching Game of Thrones.
Oh, I have still never seen an episode of Game of Thrones.
I've just finished season 1 and I'm starting season 2. Keep my finger on the pulse.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
Previews, sorry.
Everyone dies.
The previews. They've discontinued this. Clearly, I mean, the last one was just over 1 year ago. Presumably, I don't recall hearing about the discontinuation of this series, but presumably the Mythic Championship.
Has it definitely
Is the
been
natural.
discontinued?
Yeah, there's no way it's going to exist anymore.
Well, they haven't announced its existence, and it should have happened this month.
So we're using our combined powers of deduction, and
Reasoning.
we think that it is deadsy wedsies.
Actually, it has happened in May a few times as well, but it's mostly a March thing.
So it may happen.
Hey,
Well,
if we march on towards it.
I saw that there was something there, but I quickly realised that it was abysmal. So I fully expected you to make it the joke.
We just had someone come into the chat, by the way, because someone else has referenced Neil's massive head. Matt's just gone. Oh no, have we just lost Matt? This is gonna, just as I was saying that it's gonna mess up the thing, it's now gonna mess up even more because Matt's back. Let me put Matt back in because now Rob's gonna be split across two. Here you go. Matt and Rob have switched, but we're otherwise fine. Guys, everything's fine. Hi, Matt. Sorry, Magic.
2019 Magic Online Championship Series is.
I'm just looking. No, it will still happen. Oh, so are they having that and the Arena Championship Series?
Because they're different platforms.
Are they having an Arena Championship Series?
I suppose they're doing it so that people don't complain that Modo's dying, even though it totally is. I suppose it's like, do you know what I mean? Like,
so you're calling this PAX Invitational thing the Arena Championship?
It basically is, isn't it? It's just sort of different qualification.
Like it's being held.
You haven't qualified. Not everyone's qualified through Arena.
It's a show. It's like a showcase for that platform, which is what the Modo Championship was. It was never a Pro Tour. It never intended a Pro Tour. It was always just like, hey, look, you can play Magic Online too.
It's a venerated institution in the Magic Online community. It's where many of today's best players, such as Reed Duke, Brad Nelson, two-time MTGO champion Dmitry Bushkov, broke into top-level play. It's the pillar of MTGO Premier Play, and it's where we give away $250,000 in prize money.
It's not where we give away that much money, Neil, because we don't have a sponsor.
Exactly, but no, the whole Modo Aodo thing is a bit like WotC now has a favourite child, but they're desperately trying to make it not look like they do. And they're like, no, you both get championship. We're not favouriting one
We have to have a favourite child. Only one of us has been put up for adoption, but we don't have a favourite.
But until you're adopted by someone else, we'll still host your championships every year. You're still equal favourite. We just love you in different ways is all. It's not that we love Aodo more. It's just that Aodo is different, you know? We just love it in different ways. That's essentially what WotC's doing with its online platforms now.
Oh man, just what funny.
Yeah.
There's not lots to talk about with the formats. It was standard during the Mono Blue, Mono Black devotion time, which we have talked about a bunch of times, including recently.
Pack rats.
Yeah, I mean we do have a bit of the. It's another return to Ravnica, and we've got a bit of the monocolor or non-color, like the 3 drops that don't have generic mana symbols in. So, like how there was the Nightveil Spectre before and Boros Reckoner, there's those, but for monocolors.
Can you remember the other 3?
No.
Or 7? 8, sorry.
8.
Were there others?
I imagine so.
Did you say Nightveil Spectre? I don't think that was a cycle, was it?
Nightveil Spectre, Boros Reckoner. Yeah, it definitely was. Right, come on.
Did the Simic one draw a card? Was it like a Selkie of some sort?
Yeah.
That was the uncommon. That was the uncommon.
2/2.
That was the uncommon from Eventide.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wrong rarity, wrong set.
Wrong by about 8 years.
I don't think it was.
all right, guys. No to be like that about it.
Winding, kids.
Not 8 years, but
I'm just trying to help.
Right, so these were from Gate Crash, weren't they?
can chat help? I guess there only would have been 5 then.
Chat
what was in
helps
Gate Crash? It was the blue black. There was red white.
There was
it red green?
red green.
They weren't
Blue green
creatures.
And black white.
They were just.
You looked it up, Matt.
They were just rares. Yeah, I have looked it up. Yeah. Would you like some hints?
Yeah, go on.
I would.
First hint: it's way quicker if you look it up rather than trying to guess.
I'm not having camera issues. I just have a big head.
The red green one was a creature, and it has 1 colourless in the mana cost as well as the 3.
Doesn't count.
Guild.
Oh no, I was thinking it was like Giant Solifuge, but that's years ago as well.
Oh yeah, Neil, you're like 10 years out and in the wrong set.
I'm many years out.
4/5. That sounds like a 4/5. Was it a 4/5?
It was a 3/3.
3/3. Oh.
Jeez, for 4.
Oh, was it? Did it have like a weird combat effect when you attack, all your creatures get massive or something like that?
When you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature for each attacking creature you control.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I do not remember that card at all.
I don't remember that card at all.
I mean,
obviously
obviously really good in draft, but like only when you're ahead, so it's really frustrating to lose to it.
It's Rubble Belt Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then the green one is an instant, and the green-blue one's an instant, and the black-white one's a sorcery.
Is the black white one? No.
The black-white one's triple colour as well. Again, it's X triple colour.
Oh, that must be a drain spell then.
It isn't a drain spell.
No, it's like return X creatures from the
I
graveyard.
don't remember these cards at all.
Yeah, that's it. It's return. It's immortal servitude. Return each creature with convert mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield, which I think might have seen some play in like some versions of sort of aristocratic type
Was it
decks.
X or less, or precisely X?
Precisely X.
Okay, so
But I think everything
in the
good-
aristocrats deck.
Yeah, everything good sort of costs 2. So you got to get back like your sack outlet, a thing that left a body behind, and the drain thing. And then the blue-green one was biomass mutation.
Oh yeah, that wasn't that like 5 green blue or something like that.
It was X green blue.
Yeah.
So it could be 5.
So it could
So
be
yeah,
5.
I was
yeah.
right.
That's the great thing about X spells, yeah.
You're always correct,
Yeah.
except no.
Exactly.
All right. We done talking
All right.
about the tournament because I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, the Modo Championship. Should we move on?
Magic Online Championship that was won by.
I think the Magic Online Championship, just to stay on it for a little bit longer,
Jean-Claude Lansdowne.
is probably the Magic tournament in the calendar that has coverage that I care about the least. Like, and I've had times where I play like basically.
That's impressive because there's not many that in the calendar that have coverage anymore.
Like previously, like there are times when I've been playing Magic Online like morning, noon, and night, and like at the expense of all other things in my life. And even then, I didn't care about it as a tournament. Like, how do you guys feel about it? Did you care about it? Do you care about it? Like, if it goes away, will you care about that?
No. I didn't know it hadn't gone away. So
One of the only reasons I remember it is because they were really pushing Dmitry Budikov's how humble he was by playing
he
Bogles.
played red. I remember that. They're like,
No, he played Bogles, and they were like,
Oh,
he's
was it
just being
Bogles?
humbled.
Sorry, yeah.
Like, he just knew that, like, his best way to win, even though he'd already won it, his best way to win it is to just, like, play an all-in glass cannon deck. And it was like,
yeah,
well-
such a good guy, so humble because he's like he doesn't think he's better than the pros. It's like, I do think they oversold that story as well. Like, no, he just. Like, he played a stupid deck that sometimes spiked
just played
tournaments, and he
Boggles.
spiked a tournament.
and boggled people in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Because the story was like, he didn't think he could possibly outplay pros in a fair match, so he just played unfair Magic all weekend.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's a nice storyline, but I do think they over-egged it.
They're very much overacted it.
Anyway, Matt, now that we're giving opinions, did you have a bit of light stuff for us to chew on?
Yeah, so I've got a really broad question today. Like a really, really broad question. So I'm quite pleased with it, obviously, because I tend to be quite pleased with myself. What would you like to see more of in Magic?
Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Oh,
Diversity.
I agree, Neil. I agree with that one entirely, actually, because I think that basically every Magic tournament lacks successful, dedicated street dancing bands.
Yeah.
Or street dancing troops is probably the correct word.
who
isn't
is
it?
your favourite diversity band member? Not band. Are they a band? Troop member? Group
Actually,
member?
Banjo.
Ashley Banjo.
All
because
right, now
that's
name
the
one other one. Yeah.
Ashley
Yeah.
Banjo String.
The kid that they always chuck around. That's the only other one.
the kid that they always chuck around.
More support for drafting, I think, would be my answer now that I've had a thing for all of 30 seconds. Like actual draft tournaments that I would want to go to. Because all the big sealed, limited tournaments start with sealed. It's like I'd rather just be drafting all weekend.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one because I think I wonder if the new F&M changes are going to mean that like we can do things like that's going to work.
What are the new F&M changes?
The way promos work differently now at F&M, based on store level.
Oh, the stores just give them to whoever they want. That was always the case, though. I
Yeah,
thought.
and they're
That's how my store
better.
in
Like
Coventry did
instead,
it.
That was always the case.
Yeah,
I
they
don't meant
gave
to
them
say it.
random.
That's not meant to be the case.
Well, they closed down 10 years ago.
instead of just having like crap like F&M promos that are just like some promo essentially. Like you're gonna have like packs that have like rares in them and like actual factual stuff. So like now, like you could turn up to F&M and draft every week. I'm getting the impression at a reasonable sized store and actually win good prizes. Like because it's all about, for a lot of players, it's always about like value and stuff, isn't it? Like
it's always about value.
I don't know if that's true for F&M. I don't know if people go to F&M expecting value. I think that's maybe the one tournament where people have to just turn up and not get
I think
value.
if they can get it, they'll go more.
Pre-releases,
right?
pre-releases, people are just happy to turn up and see the shiny new things. And
Yeah, I guess. But even then at pre-release, like I go to pre-release expecting to come away with packs of the new set that I can then like either draft with friends or crack open and do whatever with. But at an F&M, I could go home with no packs and think whatever. I don't think I could do that with a pre-release. So I think F&M is like the one tournament. I mean, I'm speaking as someone who hasn't been to an F&M in 10 years, but even
that's
so,
probably why then.
I went to one for the first time in a while on Friday, and I had like a really good time. Like a really good time. Just like drafting a set I'd never drafted before.
Some sort of horrible mouth accident.
What was that?
Somebody in the chat asking if I had a horrible mouth accident, which is why they can't see my mouth. Sorry. You went to F&M for the first time. Sorry to interrupt. That was very rude.
Yeah, went to F&M for the first time and in ages, and it was just like dope. Like I just had a really nice time. It was like seven nice people drafting. And like I went 2-1, I lost to my pal, beat 2 other people, like played against some new people, played against some like people that drafted there every week, like talked about like that I've got a podcast. I mean, I say I've got a podcast, we've got a podcast might be more accurate.
you get on a podcast.
I'm a guest on a podcast regularly. Which to be honest,
when you're talking to us, it's we've got a podcast. When you're talking to them, it's I've got a podcast because they don't have one.
Yeah.
I think as well, being a guest on a podcast regularly is almost better than being on a podcast like as a regular, because that means that I'm good enough that people want me as a guest a lot.
It means you get specifically invited each time.
Yeah, I can also imply that I'm a guest on lots of different podcasts a lot. So like not only am I in like demand, I'm in demand from like lots of places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In demand from all angles.
Exactly. But not in a way that sounds creepy.
I think the ship has sailed, Matt.
Yeah. But yeah, like so I was thinking about it because the announcement about the changes in prizes, like I think was like maybe a day or a couple of days, if that, after I'd been to F&M, and I was like, oh wow, if I could have gone to this F&M and then got like one of these cool new packs that's got loads of cool stuff in it, I'd have been like, that would have made me go from like, oh, I'll probably come back next time I've got the opportunity, to like I absolutely definitely will.
Yeah. Have we heard from Rob and Neil yet about what you'd change in Magic?
Tappers, cheat removal.
You just want Magic to go back to how it
great
was.
again, yeah, exactly. Draft formats that aren't dominated by like 2-mana 3/2s, 3/3s. Sorry.
Although, I have really enjoyed drafting the Clear the Mind decks in Ravnica. That's been fun. Actually, get to play.
Ravnica Allegiance is genuinely one, like, I think in a few years' time I'll look back at it as like top 5 sets of all time. Like I don't say lightly when I think it is a masterpiece.
I don't think it's that great, but I'm enjoying it.
I think it's slightly worse now. Maybe you've come into it as people have learnt the set, but like 2-3 weeks ago when people didn't really know how to draft it, like you just pick up every single gate and dominate the draft because people are still there trying to play like 3-mana 2/3s. And you're just there like, okay, I have an 8/8 on turn 5, and if you kill it, I'm getting it back.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how it goes on, like, I might draft it on MTGO and see how that goes. Because it's really interesting because you still get late gate Colossuses.
Yeah.
Colossi.
But then you end up playing against a lot, obviously, because you can have 8 people
that's what I mean.
Like a pod and all have the same deck on Arena because the bots just have all the other crap decks that don't ever see the light of day.
That's also quite fun in the like when I'm drafting the Clear the Mind decks, I try and have stuff for the mirror. You can draft for the mirror in mind, which you shouldn't even remotely consider in regular 8-person drafts.
Well, in some ways that's fine. In some ways it's like essentially because the deck all you play against on Arena now, it seems for me, is gate decks. So you have to be able to deal with a massive creature that's coming back repeatedly. Or just like massive Gatebreaker rams that you can't, like, at least you can chump. Like I've raced Gatebreaker Gate Coloss or whatever it's called, a couple of times. But you can't race the Ram. The Ram's foolish.
Yeah, like 8-8 Vigilance Trample guys are really hard to race because that's all the good abilities.
Like the 8-8 that you have to put a 3-power guy in front of, you can race. But the Ram you can't. But then the other deck you play against is the High Alert deck. And because the other deck you play against is the High Alert deck, all other enchantments have become a bit worse.
Yeah.
Because everybody's playing.
Yeah, I always main deck that 3-mana Disenchant Scry 1.
Yeah, everyone's playing that. So, like, any enchantment you've got, they've all just gone down massively in value.
Yeah, we were talking about this in our Discord, weren't we, earlier this week, where the High Alert deck's particularly frustrating because their deck's always really crap until they draw the High Alert. And if they don't draw the High Alert, you just steamroll them. And if they do draw the High Alert, they steamroll you because all their 3-mana creatures are now 4/4 flyers. And it's like, that jump.
Oh, great! So I'm having a nice time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think I would like to draft the set in real life actually, just to see if that is. I don't think that would be the case in real life because you don't always play against one of the same two decks because obviously only one or two people at a pod can force that deck. So you will play against some Rakdos decks, some Simic decks, some Gruul decks, which is obviously how the set was designed.
And do you think that means that at paper tournaments, people who are just playing on Arena are going to suffer?
Yeah, get screwed.
Or do you think it'll be so negligible that like it's not worth mentioning?
I think it'd be a lot harder to just force the deck you want to draft in real life tournaments because if the person on your right is drafting it, then you're screwed. Whereas on Arena, you're more likely to be able to get that deck.
You just often get the High Alert. Like the computer doesn't seem to take High Alert at all.
Do you think? I imagine that's something that's going to get a lot more sophisticated though, because like basically the more that becomes a problem. Like obviously you'll just go like there are these cards that are archetypes, and you just make there be like a chance of people not getting them. That being said, that's not very fun. So I don't see why they would make it harder to be able to play High Alert every time. Because if there's like, let's say there are 1,000 people that just like will keep playing every week because they can play High Alert every draft, like why would you ever not be able to do that?
What I think they've done well with this set is they've had an emphasis for a while now about kind of the cycle of double color uncommons that tells you what that color pair is about, which I think has been quite an effective thing, quite a useful thing to do, in that it helps. If you're new to Magic, perhaps it will help direct what you towards drafting what you're supposed to do. But there's High Alert and there's Dovin's Acuity. And both of them go in different sorts of decks, and even though they're both blue-white uncommons, but also you can draft blue-white cards without either one of them in mind. You can just do a different thing. So there are power uncommons that are two colors that help direct you to what that color pair not definitely wants to do, but can support within the color pair. So you can draft that sort of a deck if you have that uncommon, or you could just do something else, and you don't feel like you. Because I think sometimes when it's got the power uncommon, you feel like I drafted that two colors, and then I didn't get the uncommon, even though the color pair was open. The power uncommon I needed to make my deck work well wasn't there, and that can be quite frustrating.
I feel like if you're doing it in real life, you need to sort of see the uncommon first before you.
That's kind of true of any like all-in draft strategy in all of history. But I think you're more likely to see that uncommon on Arena, so I think you can gamble more. And also because Arena's like fast turnover and doesn't really matter, like you can just go, oh well, this draft's a write-off, I'll do another one, which obviously you can't do at FNM.
Doesn't matter whether you win or lose. Yeah. It's not like you're getting any ranking.
Yeah, exactly. Win, drop 4 ranking, lose, drop 3 ranking.
Yeah. Right,
win, drop 1,
again,
lose, gain a 1.
Yeah.
I have actually lost and gained a rank as well, which was weird. But there you go.
Someone in chat, Kono, who's also on the Discord, is saying that he did real life drafts recently, and it did feel different. Says he was less able to force a particular strategy, and it was more about fundamentals. So I guess that's what we're saying. because you're more forced to like toe the line and follow the draft and draft what you're given rather than force whatever you want to draft and run with it. Yeah, which is interesting. Matt, what would you change? Have you given us your opinion yet?
I think I would change.
Pause.
Do you mean in Magic the game or in Magic all of it?
Either. I deliberately left it broad.
See, because I would like to see the books come back in the fat packs you used to buy.
More lore.
Yeah, that's really good. I think more lore that people can actively engage in.
Yeah.
Like non-ultimately nerdy lore, I think we're saying. Like, not too bothered about like all sort of Planeswalkers backstories to get put through the website, but like actual interesting fiction, I think I might get involved in. Because I have actually read some of the Ravnica books in the past, and I don't even read novels. But if there's like actual genuine gripping fiction going on, I might actually get involved in it. Whereas like, I don't really care about like who Vraska betrayed in the Spark storyline. Like, who cares?
It was one of those things where, like, I'm not going to go out and buy a Magic novel to read when I'm like, there's all the novels in the world to choose from. But I did actively buy a fat pack every time to get the little bit of pulpy book to read.
Yeah,
and I'd like to see that back.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I think lore in a way that's like digestible in a way that people want it, and that doesn't necessarily mean novels anymore. It could well mean audiobooks.
Yeah.
Good
point. Because
why don't we make an audiobook? We've got the equipment. I need a new mic, as discussed at the start of the episode. But
basically, because like I think that's the thing. Like, I just don't want to tune into the website every like day to try and like to try and find the lore. Like, and it's at the point now where like trying to find the lore like on the website it's just too much faff. And I am interested. Like, I am interested. I want to find it. I want to read it. But like, if I have to use like a wiki page, like, what's happening? Like, just make something nice.
I think part of the thing for me is, as I joked earlier with watching Game of Thrones, like, one of the reasons I've started doing that is because I can essentially watch all of it, and by the time I get round to it, season later finished, so I can just watch all of it. And I'm not a fan of, like you said, Matt, where you're like, oh, you have to go back every day to like read the thing. And that's why I liked when you just got the book, because you're like, this is a thing that I can read and then be done with.
Yeah, and it made you buy fat packs as well.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't want so many boosters.
Because like I tried, there was they did like a comic book series-y thing when Jace went to get Liliana.
Yeah.
And I'm busy. I don't necessarily have time to go back every day to try and read the next 2 pages of the comic that they've released.
Yeah.
It's like, if you just go, here, you can buy a comic for $3 or $5 or whatever, I'd be more likely to. Or if you buy a fat pack, you'll get the comic that's got that storyline in it. I'd be like, all right, I'll do that. Whereas, like, I started reading it, and then I was just like, oh, I sort of like missed a couple of days, and yeah, it's just because I just want it all in one go type thing.
Great suggestion from Red Arrow in the chat, by the way. We do reading of Magic lore when Neil is playing Jace.
Oh my god, that's so
Jace.
good. That's so good.
Matt, you can be Liliana.
I'd be great at
Don't
Liliana.
get that in Ravnica.
You wouldn't get that in Ravnica.
Is this Tommy Yours journal?
Oh, I don't remember who my mentor is. Oh.
I'll do that.
It's hard being a blue mage.
Getting gradually more drunk throughout the recording.
King in the Ravnica.
See, we could do drunk readings of like Magic things, like they do drunk histories.
Yeah, well, I suggested, like, must be 2 years ago now, that we do a drunk reading of Travis Wu's book on, like, as a podcast, but we had to then like get the rights from Travis Wu, and we didn't really want to promote him because it was around the time he got banned.
Yeah,
and now he's a goodie again. He's unbanned.
Yeah.
Once a baddie, always a baddie.
I'm just trying to fix that.
Kabaddi. I used to love watching that. It was such a random thing. Transworld Sport on a Sunday.
I went to a pub once quite late, and it was on the telly there. But they had it. They had the sound off, so you couldn't tell if they were cheating.
Look, someone stopped paying Matt's bills, as you can see.
Yeah, Jess has just been. My girlfriend Jess is just pottering about, like putting washing away, and she just turned the light off. And then she did a small gasp when she realised what she'd done, and then flicked it back on again.
It works great because we were talking about not having sponsorship money and therefore not having bills paid anymore.
Can't pay the bills.
We just saw Matt black out for a second.
Maybe
Matt's
that's what
missus is like,
do.
we can't have the lights on in 2 rooms.
Not when all your podcast money's gone away.
Because you all know that podcast money was paying them bills.
That's going to be it. The new bar at the bottom of the stream, paying Matt's light bills.
Oh, very good, Rob. Very good.
Very good. Matt, I don't think we ever actually got to what you changed. I think you got interrupted as you were saying it.
I honestly, it's weird. Like, after all of the, basically just going down to my local store and like playing this like F&M where like it was like really nice. I'm just feeling so much more positive about like the whole game. Like
What's the whole game?
Oh, shut up! Like,
come to the toilet with me. I'll show you.
like, I'm finding it hard to describe. Basically, Arena's amazing. Basically, like Arena's a really good thing for Magic.
Have
like,
you started it? Because you were
no, not at all. Like, I don't want to play.
Okay.
But
I know that people do.
But I appreciate that everyone loves it. Like, and that's good in itself. And going down and seeing that, like, so at my local store, like when I went to play this draft, everyone there was talking about Arena. It was one person's first, one of the girls I played against, it was her first live event, and she's like, oh, how long have you been playing? And I was like, 15 years, but I've not played a paper Magic match in like 6-10 months. And she was like, oh yeah, I used to play Hearthstone, and then I started playing Arena, and it's just like a much better game, and now I'm here playing F&M. And I was like, there is a man in a suit.
I've heard that as well.
There's a man in a suit somewhere that like you are like his dream person, like his absolute dream come true because you exist.
Yeah, I've like actually had multiple people come to me and they're like, oh, I play Hearthstone, but I've heard Arena's like better. Should I be playing that? I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like, and that's just amazing. Like, it's just amazing that like it's so successful. And
it displays that, like, I played a lot of Hearthstone, and Hearthstone's a fun game and what have you, but Arena actually displays that Magic's just a better game.
Yeah, it is just the best game. I always tell people Magic is just the best. Like, I've never played a game that has captured me or ever will capture me for as long or like in such depth as Magic. Like, it's just the best game.
Yeah, and the fact that it's getting more into the public eye and people are realizing it, like, that's really nice. And I think we've talked a lot on the podcast about how we essentially, like, we all love Magic, like we love it as a game, and like we're happy that it exists. And
that's actually an interesting question. I don't know if you've seen in chat.
From Duncan.
Tapufall.
Yeah, that's Duncan.
Is Arena actually better than Hearthstone? Is the game just better? Because having just said what I said, that's.
I think the platforms are comparable. They're essentially the same. But
they're very similar.
The game behind them, Magic, is tenfold better than Hearthstone.
And I think Arena's probably slightly better, purely because it's come out a bit later, so they've had more chance to alter,
to fix it. Yeah, to play around with it.
To play around with it and have little bits that are slightly better, or like things that people have complained about in Hearthstone, I imagine have been very much thought about and altered.
And I think in Magic Online as well, like things people complain about in Magic Online is the key thing, because they've obviously got like an actual dev team who know what they're doing to make Arena, and it shows. Like, it's just a more robust, more easy to use, more user friendly, more like visually pleasing program than Magic Online ever was.
Yeah, well, we always used to say about Magic Online, it would just be so much better if they hired actual programmers to work on it.
And they've now done that.
Well, it started off with the proper programmers, didn't it? And then they went, all right, we're having to pay too much. Let's do it all in-house.
Yeah, get rid of them all.
Because it was done by Leaping Lizards originally, or Leaping Lizard.
Yeah, but that was also like 20 years ago, and I imagine programming teams 20 years ago were harder to come by than programming teams now.
Very much so.
Yeah, I think that if you went and looked at like the full staff list for Hearthstone, like there are probably some like and then for Arena over time, you could probably look at like, you could see some like really serious trends there about like what's going on and who was where at what time and like what lessons have been learned and stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, like there's probably a post about it on the internet somewhere that someone could find.
I used to listen, well, I still do, listen to Limited Resources, and one of the old hosts, a guy called John Laux, like what he wanted to do was go and work at Wizards on MTGO, because he was like, I want to go and work on MTGO because I think it can be better than it is, and like because that's my desire to do it, like I'm willing to go and put the effort in and what have you. And then I remember him saying he left after like a year and a bit, and he was just saying like working on Magic Online was so hard because like your hands were just so tied with what they'd let you do and stuff like that. It didn't matter how much he wanted to improve it, they just weren't letting them. And I don't know whether that was because they had Arena in mind already or anything like that. I just remember that was something where he was very like, he found it, he ended up leaving because he found it so frustrating because he was willing to put all the time and effort in to improve this thing and just wasn't given the means at all.
Yeah. Should we have a bit of light relief before we start to end the show? A bit of a game.
I would like to be relieved.
So, I actually saw. So this is a game that we played ages ago, and I think it's called Nameless Inversion, the translation game. And I saw Martin user tweeting about it. And that's
what?
He wasn't specifically tweeting. No. So he tweeted what was essentially our game, where he translated the deck lists from the Japanese GP that happened this weekend into English and was like, "Lol, look how amazing these translations are." Lol, lol, lol.
Not a GP.
Sorry, no, it is a GP. It's just within a Magic Fest. They're still called Grand Prix.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're just,
the tournament
they're
itself
just at
is called Grand Prix.
Yeah,
It's
like
happened to
Mulligan
be
Fest
inside.
London is going to have a Grand Prix at it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, pipe down, Rob. But anyway, so he was like, haha, look, if you translate these decks into English, you get really funny cards. And so I thought, hold on, that's our game. I'm going to
Did you tweet
steal
that
our
at him?
content back. No, I didn't.
Oi.
Oi, back off. But no, so I've got a few cards for you. What do you
You've
guys
got your
think?
$75,000 a year contract.
Yeah.
We need
us
our
games. Yeah, we don't even have
Yeah,
them.
come up with your own games.
So Assassin of Booty. What do we think Assassin of Booty is in English?
Kite
set
freebooter.
Kite Self Rebooter?
No.
Oh.
You're focusing on the wrong half of the card there. Assassin of Booty.
Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah, so the booty is the trophy. Assassin of Booty.
See, I wasn't thinking like booty. I was thinking like shoes.
Hostage taking one of the guesses in the chat. No, booty. Booty, when talking about shoes, is one of those words just like really annoys me. Another one is yikes, by the way. We're talking about
Yikes.
popular opinions.
Yikes.
So yikes is like a word that everyone just uses. It's in a context like I can't bother to think about a genuine response. I'm just going to say yikes in any given context, and it just really annoys when you get those like little memes where it's like you have been awarded one yike. It's like no, either think of something useful to say or back off and stop pretending you're some super woke, holier than thou. I'm going to say yikes to anything that disagrees with me, and then that ends the conversation. Anyway, medicine
I've used
surgery.
When we talk about these,
I've used the word in its genuine way. Like, oh,
You definitely say yikes, Rob. That's definitely a word.
Yeah,
you'd
no,
say.
it's like
But only
Is
in
it to
the-
express shock and alarm?
Yeah.
it's like really grown in the last few months. It's become like the sort of
Mateo,
Yeah.
how is it that you have this comes up basically like once an episode or like in the pre when we're chatting, like you seem to have your
It's
finger on
these
the
days.
pulse of like a cross section of society that the rest of us just like don't really hear about.
I
It-
Or
basically have a
alternatively,
whole
it
cloud
reads a
on
lot
social
about
media.
words.
It might just be-
words.
I get it from the kids at school.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say, I
I
wonder
get
if
it
it's
through, like,
just the
Instagram.
kids. Yeah.
As we were saying
Oh,
before,
was
you
it?
guys hate Instagram. I like use Instagram and I use Twitter and I actually like use social media, so I see these things.
I was gonna say
happening.
I read memes. That's where I get it
I
from.
made a meme earlier. Actually, do you want to see it? It was it'll be backwards though. Look, I made a meme and I was going to put it on Instagram account. Can you read what it says there? Meme? No. It's a popular take on. No, it's a take on the popular jealous girl meme. There's a meme that's been going around. Matt and Rob, as people don't use the internet, do you know what this meme is?
Yeah, I
that's
recognise the
So
meme. yeah.
the idea is it's like guy looking at something that he doesn't have, and the thing he does have is like, what the hell? And there's one that went around recently, and it was the guy was like looking at rare wild cards, and the mythic wild card was like, what the heck? You've got me. And the point is that rare wild cards are really hard to get hold of on Arena. And I was like, well, that doesn't apply to
And
me.
much
'cause
more
I'm-
useful.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why they're
really.
hard to get hold of, because you use them more because of rare lands. And so
I have,
I'm
like-
what is that? And Neil, what I imagine you're about to say is that you've got tons because you draft like me, and I was like, well, I'm a limited player, so this doesn't apply to me, so I've changed it. So the thing he's looking at is like the little 20 gems you sometimes
20 gems, yeah.
yeah, and then the rare wild card's like, what the heck? Don't you want me anymore? He's like, oh, 20 gems.
20 gems.
Yeah,
That's
Nice.
part of the way to a draft.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've got like 50 odd rare wild cards and 500% of the way to a vault.
Yeah, same. Anyway, medicine.
I've no
surgery.
idea what a vault is.
Medicine,
The last vault, is it the
what
Hell Vault at the Avacyn Restored pre-release?
No, it's
No.
not.
Ooh, actually, that's a good thing. We've never mentioned that in because you know we hate Avacyn Restored Limited. Obviously, you all know because you were there and you lived it. But like, you know what's great? That Hell Vault was really cool. Like
Yeah.
it promised so much, and it was such a cool idea. And then the set was just dire. Oh. Anyway, sorry. What were we saying?
The next card was Medicine Surgery Teacher of Flair. Medicine Surgery Teacher of Flair. I don't think I get this one.
Medicine, surgery, chemist's insight.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Very good, Neil. Very good.
Steaming Family. Steaming Family.
Steam Flamekin.
The one red that
Flamekin
gets
thing.
Yeah,
plus 1 counters.
Runaway Steamkin. Which, by the way, is nuts. That plus Experimental Frenzy is nuts. Like, I've never
For
seen
the,
such power in
for the uninitiated, could someone tell me what those
Yeah,
cards?
so the Steamkin is 1 and a red for a 1.
Also, sorry, just a quick point before you tell me, right? There've been big chunks of like podcast history. Like we're talking like at least like a year at a time.
Where you don't play.
No. When I've been playing loads of Magic and everyone else basically hasn't been.
Yeah.
And so this turnaround where like you're all playing Arena,
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
I-
Magic.
You're
always
completely out
played.
of sync.
Neil, that isn't true.
When have I not been
Steamkin.
playing?
Steamkin is a 2 mana 1/1 in red. Whenever you cast a red spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it, which is already good effect. Up to 3, so it can't get more than 3, but you can remove 3 counters, and it's a Dark Ritual in red. And Experimental
Seething
Frenzy
Song.
is a 4 mana Future Sight.
Future sight.
Like, it sounds like there's a downside, there isn't. It's just 4 mana Future Sight. So you get Steamkin and that, and you just churn the top of your deck through. They're on like.
Well, there is
you're
a
on 15
slight
life. You're
downside.
dead.
You
You're
can't
dead.
play cards from your hand.
Yeah, but by turn 4 in a red deck, you've got no hand. So you just churn with those 2 cards.
But you do
just
draw a
churn
card
through your
every
entire
turn
deck.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's
it
always the
doesn't
land you
matter.
left on top because you
Doesn't
couldn't
matter
cast
what
it.
you draw. It's like milling for 1 at the start of your turn, and then you can play cards infinite at the top of your deck. Because you're only playing 18 lands, you never hit lands. It's just like ridiculous. Then you got like the stage, which is
Well,
1 mana.
no,
draw
you do
2
hit
cards.
lands, but you never hit 2 lands, and that's the important bit.
Yeah.
You hit 1, but you play it for the turn.
Yeah, it's an outrage.
Yeah. Anyway, the last card is a split card, and it's Battle plus Grand. Battle plus Grand. Battle plus Grand. No.
The deck
What's that?
Bedazzle?
No, it's Battle and Grand. Split card. Battle and Grand. Grand is big in French. That might help.
Grand. Big.
Exactly. It's kind of big, but bigger.
Oh, Collision Colossus.
Collision Colossus, exactly. That's right.
Ah, that's really cool. I like the ones that are really... I just love this game. I don't know why I was going to say anything specific. I love everything about this game. It's great.
Yeah, that's all I've got today, but I might do like a full episode next week by actually like translating full deck. I used to do it where I'd get you to guess the deck based on the number of cards, but I just picked a few examples this week because I was like, hey, Martin, user, that's our game. Anyway.
What might be cool to do for it is do like historic decks. Like really iconic ones, like Blue-Green Madness.
Yeah,
give you a bit more to think about.
That would be cool. I'll have a play with the translation engine. I need to blow the dust off it.
Ugh, madness.
Yeah. Anyway, should we start to wrap up?
Yeah, let's.
Cool. So yeah, thanks for joining us for another episode. Thanks to those of you that are watching us live on Twitch at the moment. We're starting to get more chat coming up in the last 5-10 minutes. We're now wrapping up, but
so we're going to stop now.
Yeah, we're going to start. Well, actually, I'm going to say I might actually hang around. If people want to hang around and watch me do some draft, do say, because I can probably hang around for another hour or so and keep streaming.
Or if you want, seeing as this was my plan anyway, because the missus has gone to Malaysia for the week.
Draft with me.
I am planning on. I'm currently bronze 4 or whatever the bottom of the bottom is constructed. I'm going to see. I'm going to stream how far I can get in constructed.
I've been doing that since Friday, and I'm now platinum 4. So I reckon you can do it, Neil. Because I've got platinum 4 in 3 days.
Why don't you guys sort of combo and you can sort of talk about it together?
Yeah. Okay, Neil, do you know how to get me in on your Discord? Because I've seen people doing that on Twitch. As in, like,
I
you
can probably work it out.
Like, come in and watch your screen. All right, well, let's do that. After this, Neil or I will be streaming something.
Mateo will stream, and I will chat with him.
I thought you just said it was going to... Anyway, we'll stream something.
Yeah. Okie.
Yeah. So someone's just asked, Duncan's just asked in the chat, will we be streaming going forward? Probably. We'll probably do either this or... I think you can do it through Discord more easily. As anyone who's watching will know, Skype's not really serving us very well because Neil's head is massive and it keeps like flickering out. It took us ages to get to this point where Neil's head is massive. Like it was that is frightening. So I think if we can do it through Discord, we will. But I'll basically, if people are enjoying this, we don't have that many viewers today, but if people are enjoying it, please hit subscribe. And then obviously you'll get notifications when we go live, and hopefully our viewer base will grow and be able to actually be more interactive with our audience. So yeah, basically, if you want us to keep streaming live on Twitch, we will try and do so. If not, we'll try and do some kind of live thing, or we might do like alternating one live, one not live.
Yeah,
but we definitely want to keep
think
streaming.
I think we were better this episode as well than we were the previous one, like live, and I think that's probably something that will continue
going forward, hopefully.
Yeah.
There's always going to be
depending on how much I've had to drink.
Yeah, and on the first episode, I would probably describe myself as deathly hungover. Which I think showed in both my aesthetic and like word talking, which actually on that note probably hasn't
What else
improved.
do you do with words?
Yeah.
Mess about with them, Rob, and you know it.
Yeah. Also, hopefully by next week I'll have a decent mic,
never would,
because people who've been listening for this episode will have noticed that my mic keeps spiking. So I am sorry about that. I know it's quite annoying. On the recorded version, I tried to edit it down last week, but it was quite tough. So sorry to everyone who's now got ear pain because of me. But yeah, if you want to follow us online, if you're on Twitch or otherwise, just go to twitch.tv/TBpodcast and hit the subscribe button, and then you'll get a notification. If you're watching us live now, obviously just press the follow button. Now that we're doing videos, we're also actively on YouTube, so that's everything is /TB podcast, so YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, and more importantly patreon.com/TB podcast. We're currently sponsorless, boo. So we're also free agents on the lookout for either sponsors or just more patrons, so please do support us. Shout out to the few patrons that have joined us in the last month or two. One of whom is one of our... I mean, we don't have favourites, but if we did, he'd be one of them, one of our favourite listeners. So shout out to John. Thanks for sponsoring us.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, John. And if I think we should do a top tier level of Patreon subscriber where you get to find out which one of the four of us wears the trousers during the live streaming episodes.
That is an absolutely amazing game.
Great idea. Great idea. Oh, hi, Chris, who's just joined us just as we're wrapping up. Great idea in the chat, by the way. If you become a Patreon, I will shout you out with a personalised rhyming couplet, just like I do other people on the show. So there you go. Become a Patreon on patreon.com/tvpodcast, and I'll give you a personalised rhyming couplet. If you don't want me to shout you out because you're embarrassed of supporting us for whatever reason, let me know before the episode after you support us, and then I won't do it.
Could you please do that for me? Love it.
Anyway, yeah, blah blah blah. Follow us in a bunch of places. We also have an Instagram account now, and I'm probably gonna start posting memes because they just get followers. Basically, we want people to listen to our podcast. So if you're on Instagram, search us out. I think let me just check what we're called. It's like I couldn't have TB podcast for whatever reason. It wasn't taken, but it wouldn't let me have it. So we're Blue Envelope MTG, all one word. Blue Envelope MTG. Maybe they don't allow things with podcast in the name. I don't know. But Blue Envelope MTG is our Instagram, and currently it has one post, which was just a promo for our live stream for episode 200, but I'm going to start posting them more regularly.
I'm pimping out your rhyming couplet skills, Matteo, just so I'd let you know.
Thanks. Yeah, no, we've already had another taker saying they want the rhyming couplet. So if you want to follow us individually as well, I'm on Twitter at Matteo OJ, Rob
At Dr. Rob Wagner.
Neil
At Trigger Riggers.
and Matt.
At TV Matt Light.
And
That's so pointless.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most pointless things we ever do.
Like the most dead air that we put out. Like if we timed how long it takes me to say that and then times it by like 150 episodes, it's a lot of dead air.
yeah, speaking of dead air, did you have something to ask Neil before we close out?
Real Rod's in the dictionary. No, Rod's at the end of the episode.
Somebody in the Discord posted like a War of the Spark spoiler thing, and it didn't actually spoil anything. It just gave you like a little weird, oh no, Jace has fallen in love with Fibblethip and stuff like that. But what it didn't make me think of is the fact like Fibblethip's like a really popular character.
He is. If he came back, I'd go nuts.
He's been in a few cards.
Has he?
He's on a card in Ravnica Allegiance and a card in Guilds of Ravnica.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
He's on March of the Multitudes.
Is he just like hanging out? Like
He's just at the back.
Yeah.
And he's in Captive Audience. He's just like,
my word, that's amazing.
yeah. And he's also randomly on a conspiracy card. He's just like watching Gideon on a horse go past, and Statute of Denial. This is my favourite one. He's on Statute of Denial from M15.
That's by the pyramids, isn't it?
No, it's a counter spell, and he's just like looking out at the guy countering the spell from a little drain.
Link this in Discord and in chat and in Twitch chat, because people would love to see this, I think. And this is what makes games great, isn't it? Like, it's this kind of thing.
See, it's these little things that you just like find that like you said, it's just like the little bits of lore that like randomly fun and stuff like that. Because it's like if you go to MTG Wiki, there's like just a little history of him that he serves the Azorius Senate, working in the Magister's Gardens. He was more left alone to do his duties, and then an arrangement he was happy with, but then they used him as bait to catch the Rakdos criminal Vadax Gore.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But he took the bait, and then Parisha sprang into action, saved him, and then he's been awarded the possibility of his descendants petitioning the Senate to create a tablet to register Fibblethip's exploits upon his death. So random. And then I also have decided to go for a really difficult version of Torpedo or Tornado.
What?
But because tornadoes only have a single name, it's going to be, did this person win a GP in 2017, or are they a name used for tropical Atlantic storms?
Go on then.
Brett.
Yeah. Top 8.
Definite top 8.
Nope, that's a tropical storm.
I'm going to go
Wait,
for...
what were the categories? Sorry, I was distracted.
I'm going to
by
go
the
for tropical storm.
Torpedo or tornado.
Yeah, but what do you mean? Like, Brett is a single name? Did you mean like first name? So there's no one called Brett has ever top 8'd anything?
Just this year.
I said they have to be the winner.
Oh, this year.
2017.
Sorry, this year. Oh, sorry, that's what I didn't listen to. Sorry, I got distracted.
this year that he's talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
Steve.
No one's going to call a tornado Steve.
Top 8-0.
Yeah, top 8.
Yeah, that's definitely a top 8. Oh.
Hurricane Steve.
Sean.
Sean,
Top 8-0?
I'm going tornado.
Sean McLaren.
Matt is not going.
Tornado.
You're actually all right, because it's both.
Yeah.
Technically, you're wrong as well, because we didn't say both.
Shut up, Mateo.
Indeed.
Who?
Let's have a look at this one. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Excellent
Jose.
preparation. Jose.
Top 8-0.
I think you're trying to make it sound like a tornado because it's like slightly exotic, so I'm going to go top 8. I think it's a trick one.
Yeah, me too.
No, I'm afraid that's a tornado.
Oh, double bluffed.
Ah.
Double bluffed.
Then the last one is Mauro.
All right,
That's
well,
all
Glasses.
just what that last one was.
I'm going with the same logic again, even though I was wrong last time. So I'm going to say top
Mauro.
8 because you think
top
you think
8.
it's tornado, so top 8.
It is indeed top 8.
Hey.
He won GP Santiago.
By the way, I was thinking, just shower thoughts the other day, that I really hope they call a storm in America Daniels, so that like Trump is forced to go on like news and be like, the impact of storm Daniels is really it's really suffering at the moment.
The nearest you'll get is Danielle in 2022.
Yeah.
What?
What? 2022?
Are they all renamed?
Yeah. In 2022, it's going to be Alex, Bonnie, Colin, Danielle, Earl, Fiona, Gaston, Hermione,
Gaston?
Ian, yep,
What?
Ian, Julia, Carl, Lisa, Martin, Nicole, Owen, Paula, Richard, Sherry, Tobias, Virginie, and Walter.
I think they have a naming convention,
Bias.
like a gendered naming convention based on. I thought it was based on the year, or is it like based on the hemisphere they come from, or something?
I think they just go through. They go through men A to Z, then they go through women A to Z.
No, I'm sure they have like. There's a specific thing that that decides whether it's a female name or a male name. But obviously, like in the world of increasing inclusivity, I don't know if they're going to bother that anymore because gendering humans is becoming more difficult. So why would you start gendering storms? But there definitely used to be like a rule, like if it came from that hemisphere, it's male, and that hemisphere, it's female, like something like that. Yeah, someone's just said in the chat they alternate them each year. I thought that too, but
No,
what Neil's just saying, that's not the case.
I'm looking at tropical storm and hurricane names for Atlantic tropical storms, and they have 6 years. They're rotated every 6 years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
basically, the first tropical storm that attains a sustained wind speed of at least 39 miles an hour in a calendar year is given the name that begins with A from that year's list. And then it just goes down like that.
Hurricane Gaston's already getting a lot of fans in the chat, by the way. Also, Duncan's mentioned Hurricane Ballbag, which is a nice throwback to a few years ago. Do you guys remember the Scottish one? It wasn't quite a hurricane, it was a storm, but they effectively named it Hurricane Ballbag, which is a very Scottish thing to do in the face of mild danger. Just insult it. Stick a middle finger.
Hurricane, you're ma.
Yeah. Anyway, we're now actually done. So, yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks, Neil, for that entertaining outro. And, follow us on various ways. And the more people we have watching live, the better it is, because then we'll move up the rankings and more people.
And then more people.
Get new
You know, but
listeners.
the snowball effect.
Yeah, exactly.
I will
So, yeah,
feel
thanks, everyone, for
more
watching.
embarrassed by not paying attention.
All right, so Neil, who's streaming, me or you? Do you want to stream, and I'll join you?
You stream. No, you stream because you want to draft and I want to put together standard decks.
All right.
So I literally have one deck built on Arena.
We will stream
All
for
right,
ice
well,
cream.
let's say bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
And then if anyone wants to hang around, I'm going to keep streaming
Bye.
probably until 10 p.m.ish, so another 45 minutes, 42 minutes. So I'm going to end the call, so actual bye to the people who are not there, and then I might bring Neil back to draft with me. Bye, everyone.